What's up, YouTube? I've got another YouTube exclusive for you. This is a review of the Fuji Nevada 1.7. It's going to be a review, but also a little bit of a bike build to show you what you can actually do with this bike because it's got good bones. So let's move on to the front of the bike. So it comes with a Suntour XCT fork, which is a very basic fork. It's a spring fork, not a hydraulic fork. So, you know, you're not going to get much of adjustment out of it. It does have a lockout, which is a manual lockout, so that's one thing that's got going for it. It has Tecro hydraulic brakes, so the hydraulic brakes are good. They work pretty good. Fork weighs about 7 pounds, though. So that's going to be something definitely you want to replace. Now, one thing I didn't mention is it does have a rebound adjustment. It doesn't work very well. Moving on to the middle of the bike, you get a stamped 3-seat Shimano SIS drivetrain with a turny front derailleur. It's really basic. It works okay. Granted, it's a 3-speed, so you're not expecting a lot of performance out of this drivetrain. The rear has an Acer rear derailleur with an 1136 tooth Shimano cassette. It does shift. It does work out of the box, but it's something that if you want to upgrade, you're going to get a lot more performance out of it. So moving on to the middle of the bike, you've got external cable routing, but if you notice, there's little black ovals on this, and it does have the ability to do internal cable routing, which is kind of cool. It even has an internal or external port, so you can run a dropper seat post, which is kind of cool. I believe it came with a 100 millimeter steel stem, aluminum bars, so pretty basic. But as you see, the bike has got good bones, so we're going to see what we can do with this. So here's the old Shimano stuff that I've pulled off. We've got a Shimano stamped crank set. It's a 3 on the front. And it's not one that you can replace the chain rings on, it's all one piece. We've got a 11 34 tooth Shimano cassette that is an 8-speed. Acer rear derailleur, turny front derailleur, and basically just generally low-end Shimano components. They worked, but we are fixing to upgrade to a SRAM Eagle 1x12 drivetrain. So just in case anybody was wondering, the bottom bracket on this particular model bike is a 73 by 124.5, and it is a 24 threads per inch. So BC of 73. So you can find the correct SRAM bottom bracket, which should be a 73. With English threads, it's a 24 thread. Okay guys, so here is the finished bike build. The Fuji Nevada 1.7. So let's start off at the front end and tell you what I've done. So we have replaced the front forks with a set of Shox. These are the TK30 Silvers. These were on a previous bike, but they were spec'd out at 120 millimeters of travel. So I figured I would keep them and use them on this build. I got a new set of decals that were matte or gloss black, which I thought really kind of made it look nice. It comes with a remote lockout, which has got a 3-position. It's got a climb feature, completely locked out and an open. Moving down here, we've got the Maxis Icon 2.2 tires. I would have liked them in a little bit wider. Some of the other brand Maxis come in the gum wall tires, but they're a lot more aggressive tread, and I wanted a fast rolling kind of a trail tire and not so much as the downhill tire. Moving up to the bars, we've got a set of carbon bars, and these are some generic carbon bars I got online. They weren't real expensive. Went ahead and kept the Tecro brakes for right now until I get some more funds, and those might get upgraded. Looking at the stem here, they got a 50mm stem. This is a Bravo stem. It's actually pretty heavy, but wanted something shorter, get a little bit more nimble with it. Moving down on the features here, and one of the nice features about this bike, it does has the ability to run it internal cable routing. So we went ahead and ran the SRAM Eagle 1x12 drivetrain internally for the most part. You can kind of see where it's coming out right there. And there's a port on the other side where we've got it going in. So let's talk about the drivetrain real quick. We went ahead and went with the SRAM 32-tooth Eagle Technology Truvative crank. A little bit less expensive. This crank was about $50 versus $150 for the Eagle GX 12-speed crank. We did go ahead and go with the 1x12 drivetrain on the back, and this is a SRAM GX Eagle crank. This is a non-boost hub, and I went ahead and got a Sunrace 1150 tooth cassette, and it's a SRAM GX chain on that as well. No problems shifting whatsoever. The bottom bracket was a GXP bottom bracket, and I believe it was a 73mm GXP bottom bracket. Moving up to the saddle, this is an Urbanizer brand that I'd never heard of before, but I found this online. And I thought this brown color kind of pulled everything together on this bike build. And I believe the brand on this saddle is called DaBomb, so D-A-B-O-M-B. Kind of funny, I know, but if you look that up, you'll find a bunch of different colors of these saddles. So overall, very happy with the build. Originally, this was about 31 pounds. With the replacements of everything, it dropped it down to about 26 pounds, and that isn't even throwing on a carbon seat post, which I'll probably do, or probably put in a dropper seat post. The nice thing about this is it does have a hole right on that down tube there to put a dropper seat post, and then you just run it through the other side of this routing. So very capable bike. Originally it was a 3x8 speed, and now we've got a 1x12. Makes it a lot more fun to ride. And incidentally, we're running these tires. These are the stock wheels that were on it, but the tires are running tubeless. Tubeless setup on this was pretty easy as well. We just did a Stan's tubeless conversion kit. But the bike to start with was about $499, I'm guessing. I think it was around $499. And then probably another $400 or so in this build. The last thing I'll probably upgrade is the brakes. I'll start with the rotors, and I'll probably put some Shimano XTR Ice rotors on this, just some really good stopping power. And then I'll eventually replace the hydraulic levers up there as well. But Fuji bikes, it started off as a very basic bike. Now it's a pretty capable hardtail, dirt jumper, whatever you want to call it, bike. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. Let me know what you think.